Welcome. This is your host, Calvin Hilly. This is the podcast, the livest podcast in the Carolinas, taking over for the 2022 and beyond, baby. How y'all doing, ladies and gentlemen? I repeat, this is the livest, most five podcast in the Carolinas, man. 704 area code, Charlotte to Concord and surrounding areas, man. We holding it down, bro. What's up with it? Got a few topics for you today, man. We're gonna go in on it. A few things with local news, celebrity news, national news, current events. You know how we do, man. Keep our abreast and entertained at the same time. Got to keep you well informed. My first topic today is we're gonna talk about celebrity news, a little bit of current event shit, stuff that's pertaining to our culture, the black culture is. I was gonna talk about celebrities, man, and their influence in the mainstream media and in society and black culture. And I had a friend that brought up a guy by the name of Kripmak, a Crip from LA apparently. And basically, I just want to talk about people like him and other celebrities who in their influence on the black culture, you know, negative or positive. So that's what I'm talking about today. I'm gonna go ahead and play my first clip right now. Let me get that for you. You know how we do. Break down clips, talk current events, and nothing but a G thing. Right. Here we go.
For sure. How do you feel about the fact that that one little clip leaked? Because nobody's supposed to be filming this, right?
Yeah, the homies took care of that already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they took care of that. That wasn't supposed to get, no.
I saw a lot of that in the comments, like, oh, that should be another DP.
Yeah, they took care of it. Everything's cool. So, DP is pretty much you learn from your mistake.
Right.
You know, it's like when you're a kid, you get spanked with a belt or a hanger. You know, same type shit. But it's more of a, it's worse.
So did you actually just say like, nah, I don't want to talk. Let's just fight?
Pretty much like, we already got generals. We got homies out here already. We could get this shit done with now. I didn't want to wait.
Right.
Want to get it over with. Clear up what I did wrong, clear up my name, Kerr, and continue to do skits with Kerr and drink some cold old English and whatever else I was going to do.
Make some music?
I'm going to make some new songs. I'm going to fuck some new big, beautiful sitches.
Oh, we're going to talk about that for sure.
We got it.
But, okay, so was the story true that you at first fought some smaller dudes and then it became like bigger dudes got involved and like at first you were winning? Is that how this played out?
This how this shit go. It was in a DP, you go keep going like this. So it's like you don't get no fucking break to breathe or nothing. But considering these as homies, I had my water. I was able to.
You had the gallon with you?
I did.
At Niagara?
I was able to drink some water, catch my breath, but you still got to complete this shit.
Right. And this is just right out on the street? This isn't like in somebody's backyard?
Oh, this is in a motherfucking alley.
Oh, okay.
You're gonna fight. You're gonna make it out that alley.
Right.
You know.
Wow.
It's just your respect is on the line.
Right.
You pretty much your career, your everything.
Yeah. I mean, it's like just the fact that you documented yourself on the drive there and then you went on live again on the way back with your face bloody and shit and that you didn't give a fuck.
I had a cold old English afterwards. I was happy I got it over with.
Right.
That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Definitely.
You can't win from a DP, you know?
Right.
Yeah, you can't.
And it's crazy because, like, what would the other option have been? The other option would be for you to never go back and just move to Vegas or something?
There was pretty much, just keep everything, cool. No, don't do like that, pretty much, yeah.
Right.
You know?
For sure. How do you feel about the fact that that one little clip leaked? Because nobody's supposed to be filming this, right?
Yeah, the homies took care of that already.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they took care of that. That wasn't supposed to get, No.
I saw a lot of that in the comments, like, oh, that should be another DP.
Yeah, they took care of it. FDA's cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn. It's wild because I'm going to be honest with you. I was with somebody who was technically enemies with you when that video came out, and I saw it that they wanted to talk shit, but they couldn't. That they were like, he did the real thing. He did the right thing. You can't really talk shit about somebody who just goes.
I mean, a lot of motherfuckers ain't gonna take a beating.
Right. A lot of people run from that their whole life, right?
A lot of people run from DP's years.
Yeah. And when I was reading your comments too, it seems like your fans are 100%. Nothing's changed about how much they love you and shit. That they were. If anything, that just proves that you 100% are what you say you are, right?
Yeah, that's how it is. The jails is rough. The streets is rough.
Yeah, man. It's a little hard on the ears, man. A little ignorant. I know. Just fucking the stuff they put for our consumption, right? Motherfucking Kripmak. That video, one of the things I found hilarious with the fact he called banging a career. This is wild. He got gang banging a career. But yeah, man, I feel like a lot of this stuff is, like I said, pushed on us. A lot of this stuff is meant for mental conditioning and influencing the impressionable youth. Like a lot of this stuff is really just a continuation of ignorance and mainstream media propaganda putting out negative images of black men. So that's basically where I'm at with it. I don't support it. I know a lot of people love to be entertained by ignorant shit like this, but personally, me, I'm not a fan of it. I feel like it does more negative than any type of positive. There's no positive to it, you know, because there's too many kids that will watch this and they'll be negatively influenced by it. So that's my biggest deal. Like, why is it that there's always negative depictions of black men constantly being put in our faces? We never see positive. We damn near never see a lot of positive images publicized and, you know, put out there like the negatives. So that's one of my big issues with it. The only positive to it is it is entertainment, but at the same time, I feel like it's just a bunch of ignorance. You know, they're laughing at the guy. I feel like I feel like basically people are patronizing him and extorting him. You know, he's basically a laughingstock. I feel like he has some type of mental disability and nobody's really addressing. But yeah, that's how I feel about it, man. Just another negative depiction of a black man that gets publicity. You know, to me, it's almost in the same manner as what's that guy's name? The guy that had all the. Oh yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry, yeah, it's Alonzo Hunter back. You can call me Zoe. I'm back in. I got to chime in. Kripmak is basically what he is, man. He's a Crip from wherever he's from, 55th Street, whatever he says. And he's just famous because he's a funny guy. Like, that's how I look at it as, man. I mean, he did say Cripping was a career, but I mean, some people look at it like that, especially from the western coast of America. So, I mean, it's a culture out there. And, you know, unfortunately, you know, he's a Crip, but I mean, he's a funny guy to me. And I don't look at it as nothing more than that. That's my perspective from it.
I'm sure a lot of people take it in that same light, you know, which it is in entertainment. You know, the shit is funny. You know, he's an entertaining person. He's a funny motherfucker. But I guess I always choose to look a little bit deeper than it, because I be like, why is these images of black men always the one that gets the notoriety as opposed to any other? Like, it's just not to the same degree, in my opinion. But it is funny, you know what I'm saying? But like, to me, it's like it's another example of making us look like a damn, like that minstrel show back in the day, of blackface. It's like in my opinion, that's how I look at it. I look at it as it's a way to degrade the image of a black man, but it's too like I said, I wouldn't want my kids watching. I wouldn't want my son, my impressionable young son, watching anything like this. And as we know in America, these things, YouTube is an open outlet, it's an open platform where, anybody can just be caught up in it. So I guess that's really my big issue with it. I think it's negative, but the positive of it is it's entertainment. That's the only positive I can even draw from it. Kripmak. Yeah, any more on that shit or?
I mean, not really. I mean, if you don't like it, just don't pay attention to it. I mean, he'll eventually go away, just like every other social media sensation. So, I mean, just go about your business. I mean, he's not hurting you or anything. I mean, like you said, he might have a mental issue, but at the end of the day, I mean, hopefully he stays positive.
True.
So.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's very true, man. You gotta watch your kids. If you don't want to watch it, don't tune in. If you don't want them to be influenced and impressed upon by his image, negative imagery, tune the fuck out. Like I try to do, but hey, he's in the algorithm for damn sure at this point. But just like anybody else, just like NBA YoungBoy, just like anybody other these entertainers that just they just basically profit off of negativity and negative images of black men. That's basically all it is. They profit off of negativity. I mean, gun violence, gang violence, fighting, DPs, just all kind of just negative, degradizing women in our community. Just a whole bunch of just negative shit, and I guess like that's my biggest deal with everything. Why does the negative shit get so much promotion as opposed to the positive? That's all I say. And it is entertainment. It's water off my back. What he eat don't make me shit. I don't make no money off of it, but I'm glad a black man is able to make money off the internet. Because that's something that avenue that I'm trying to go down. But yeah, man, it's just a shame what gets the attention. White man interviewing him, black man about gang culture, encouraging the negative, the negativity, the negative shit. It's like to me, it's just like buffoonery. You know what I'm saying? It's like they putting on a show. Like a damn back in the day with that girl that they used to put on that had a big ass that they traveled all over Europe with. And made like a spectacle of her. I feel like that's black culture at this point. There's no more positive things being put to the forefront like before. That's all. Nothing to actually promote change, just a bunch of ignorance. But hey,
social media gives the people a chance to, give their perspective. Everybody has their opinion on social media. So I mean, fortunately, Kripmak was able to speak about his DP, and that shouldn't have went down. And unfortunately, the guy that recorded the DP was shot. So I mean, obviously, he wasn't supposed to be doing something. So. At the end of the day, it's a bad situation, like you said. But I mean, Kripmak is an entertaining character in my eyes.
Yeah, but we will continue to be the clowns of this world and of this nation with depictions like this, especially if like I said, we see white people. I seen the meme where white man was dressing that and like them. It's just to me. I mean, like I said, I'm all for laughter and shit like that, but not at the I guess not if it's gonna make black people and black men especially look horrible. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's about it on them, man. Them entertainers, man. You just gotta tune them out, in my opinion, man. We especially if you're about positivity and about community, you can't really allow your youth and our none of our youth and black youth to be impressed by this shit. Get on to the next topic, man. Find my next topic I'm about to play. Oh yeah, Biden's America, man. I want to talk about Biden's America and his broken promises made to the black constituents, man, the black citizens, the black caucus, as they say, man. But I want to talk about that, man. I had a video too I can play for you.
Accumulating wealth. And you're behind an 8 ball. The vast majority of people of color are behind an 8 ball.
Many people believe that the true swing demographic in this election will be black voters under the age of 30. Not because they'll be voting for Trump, but because they won't vote at all. I myself have had this exact same conflict. So my question for you then is, besides you ain't black, what do you have to say to young black voters who see voting for you as further participation in a system that continually fails to protect them?
Well, I say, first of all, as my buddy John Lewis said, it's a sacred opportunity and right to vote. You can make a difference. If young black women and men vote, you can determine the outcome of this election. Not a joke. You can do that. And the next question is, am I worthy of your vote? Can I earn your vote? And the answer is, there's two things I think that I care, and I've demonstrated I care about my whole career. One is, in addition to dealing with a criminal justice system to make it fair and make it more decent, we have to be able to put black Americans in a position to be able to gain wealth. That's why I'm supporting making sure that we, in Title I schools, as you know, schools with the least tax base, to be able to support their schools. I increased the funding for them from 15 to $45 billion. That allows every teacher in that school to make up to $60,000 and the problem now is they're leaving the schools. They're not there. We're short about 1.5 million teachers, 1.25 million teachers. Number two, every 3-, 4-, and 5-year-old will go to school, not daycare, school. In addition to that, I provide for $70 billion for HBCUs for them to be able to have the wherewithal to do what other universities can do because they don't have the kind of foundational support they need. In addition to that, if you're a young man about to graduate or you graduated from school and you want to own your first home or well, it's awful hard to get the money, and depending on the background, what your economic background is, to get a down payment. So we're going to guarantee first-term home buyers a $15,000 down payment for first-term home buyers. In addition to that, what all the studies now show, and I've been arguing this for a long time, is young black entrepreneurs are just as successful as white entrepreneurs or anyone else given a shot. But you can't get the money. Where do you go to get the startup money? So what President Obama and I did, we had a program where we took $1.5 billion and we invested it in all the SBAs around the country, in the state SBAs, small business associations, and that generated $30 billion came off the sidelines. Well, I'm changing that program, and I'll get this done without much trouble, I believe, in the Congress, from $1.5 billion to $30 billion to $30 billion. That'll take $300 billion off the sideline and grow because And for example, if you, in fact, and I were the same age and we split our differences and we were the same age and we went to the same builder to buy us each the same home, but my home was in a white neighborhood on one side of a highway and yours is in a black neighborhood, same exact home. Your home will start off being valued 29% less than my home, yet your insurance for that home will be higher. You'll be taxed more for it. We've got to end this. That's what got me involved in politics in the first place, a thing called redlining. We can change so much, that we can do so much to change the circumstances to give people a real opportunity.
Yeah, man. Shit, nah, it was a real informative piece right there, man. Biden's broken promises, man. He got a lot of motherfucking broken promises to the black community, man. That was right before the election. That was him campaigning, man. He has a lot of broken promises made. And we can talk about a few things, man. We can talk about the job shortages or the lack of black in the workforce. Just reading the article, New York Post article, where talking about black prosperity. And it basically says in the Trump era, African Americans unemployment had reached a lowest record of 5.5% September 2019, and he bragged about basically the rate being a little lower. It says right here that's due to a decline in labor. You know what I'm saying? So among blacks, so he's counting that like people aren't working. So that's obviously a significant indicator of black poverty. So we got a lot of broken promises. Do it just like COVID. We can talk about COVID. We can talk about inflation. We can talk about how he recently talked about supporting the police or putting more money into the police force, as opposed to when he was running on a smaller money and less money defunding the police. So it's just a few things the way he's already, did a complete 180 on a couple of issues, especially concerning the black community. Talk about reparations. He did. I mean, that's a complete dead issue, non-issue at this moment. We talk about how he mistreated Haitian refugees that try to come through the border, but it would allow Hispanics and other immigrants to come. The Syrian refugees. I guess whatever's going on in with Russia, Ukraine, I'm sure he's going to allow those citizens to seek refuge in America. So a lot of the things that he's ran on, a lot of things that he does is really more so for it's more so for the imagery or just the sound bite, and it doesn't have a lot of backing to it. So these are just a few examples, in my opinion, how Biden's America, is full of broken promises, a bunch of backsliding, a bunch of bullshit. Have any?
Yeah, I'm with you, man. Like Joe Biden, he really hasn't proved anything. But I mean, black people love him for some reason,
100%.
I don't have an opinion on him. He's a politician.
100%. Nah, that's real, man. We definitely have, like, it is kind of crazy how he does still have overwhelming support from the black community still, even though he shows consistent signs and consistent evidence of just being full of shit. Cap, as I say, man. Shit, he just it's wild, man. He takes credit for the unemployment wage in the black community going down. When in fact, we're not working. It's not even worth it. Like it just, like you just said, I don't like speaking on politics either a lot, because it's all corrupt, it's all bullshit. None of it is gonna get anything done. It's really not gonna get anything done until we have a majority of black people in power, or at least an equal share.
I mean, we the people got to do the work. I mean, other than that, man, you can't depend on a suit to actually improve your community unless you're taking the proper steps to do your part.
100%. Yeah, man. I do feel like there was many promises made that were broken, and shit, the black community is just looking at it. We sitting around crazy with our jaw. The ones that are conscious and know what's going on, I see what's going on. We're looking at the ones that's so pro-Biden, and we just got our jaws to the ground, like, what's going on? This is the guy y'all back. This is Obama's boy. This is y'all vote blue no matter who. This is y'all, this is y'all master as we look at it, man. Y'all niggas is crazy. But yeah, it's been a wild ride, a little 300+ days. So you got any topics you want to talk about?
I mean, as of right now, like, our country is between a rock and a hard place deciding if we want to help Ukraine. Like, it's looking like to me Ukraine is pretty much done. Like, I mean, that's a foreign issue that we don't need to get involved with. If we want to isolate our resources from Russia, I mean, obviously they don't care about that because the whole world is trying to turn their back on Russia. But I mean, they feeling like they got enough people on their side to go ahead and take over what used to be the Soviet Union. So it's world issues are going to affect everything, because when we go to war, everything rises, like inflation, gas. They're starting to manufacture more bullets and guns. So I mean, hey, arm yourselves, because you never know, man, when the next terrorist attack could be. So just be aware out here.
100%, man. That's dead on. I agree with you on that one. Yeah, Russia situation, man. Russia, Ukraine. Some more bullshit that ain't got nothing to do with black Americans, in my opinion. It's like we just need to focus on self, man. Get our shit right. Putin says sanctions over Ukraine are like a declaration of war. I mean, They're our neighbor, you know what I'm saying? They're a superpower.
I also
Another
have
superpower.
another topic I want to talk about. I believe the coach's name is Art Browse. He had a job at Grambling State, and he had some big issues over his head at Baylor. You know, he turned that program around from basically poop to gold. You know, they had a Heisman Trophy winner in RG3 and several other players that made a lot of noise in college football, but sexual allegations turned that program upside down. You know, he lost his job. Basically, he lost his name. You know, he was coaching a couple weeks at Grambling, you know, spring football, getting himself acclimated with the players. And they said a couple of alumni, i.e., not a couple, but one of the main alumni from Grambling State, Doug Williams, a quarterback that was drafted by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that played for a lot of years in the NFL, and he won a Super Bowl in Washington, you know. So I just wanted to touch on that. You know, they said Stephen A. said a bunch of controversial comments on ESPN, basically shaming Art Browse and Grambling for even, you know, hiring him. But I mean, I think he deserves another chance, man. Aren't we the country of second chances? Or we just canceling everybody now just for other people's actions? And I mean, I heard all the players that were accused of sexual allegations were exonerated, but they're not talking about that. So, you got anything to say about that?
I mean, I don't really know a lot about it, but it sounds like, so this example, this is kind of being guilty by association. What is the whole, what did he get in trouble for?
Some of his players were accused of sexual allegations, and they were just trying to say it was a chaotic program. And yeah, basically they tried to say he could, but really it was they said it was a campus issue. I saw it on the Jason Whitlock show, and one of his ex-players came on there who was a Baylor Hall of Famer. He said that, you know, he felt like the university was trying to use him as a scapegoat, and the president really, you know, threw him under the bus and tried to make the issue go away. But, you know, basically his career is over, man. Like, he can't even get a job at the HBCU.
Damn.
So,
Man, in my opinion, I do feel like we are in the land of opportunities. You know what I'm saying? It's sad that you are looked at forever with a black stain if you commit a crime or commit something against that's not decent. You know what I'm saying? Or you're involved in it in any way. But I do feel like the allegations happened in 2018 when all it came to fruition.
I think it was before that.
Oh, okay. I feel like what was his punishment? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's unfortunate, but
he got fired.
If you were put in a position of power and you abuse that power, I do feel like maybe that is, like, a sign. Like, let's say a president got in trouble for treason. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're not gonna allow him to be working any office again. You know, he's gonna be jailed. Like, he's gonna lose that authority. You know what I'm saying? That's just fact. So that's just my opinion. Like, maybe he should go to another field. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he should be more so behind the scenes scouting or do something else. You know, maybe he did lose the opportunity because he dropped the ball on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, as a head coach, that's, in my opinion, being a former athlete, I feel like that's a huge position. It's like you're basically the president. You know what I'm saying? Like, so kind of like, it's kind of like you got a captain, like you go down with the ship. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, I hate to think that somebody would be, tried forever for their wrongdoings. Like you said, this is the land of second chances or opportunities. But maybe not in that field. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe you abuse that situation, and I don't really feel like you should be in that field anymore. You know, that's my opinion on it.
Understood, but I also think he had a job at, like, Carolina as like a player, as like a I forgot player. What they call it? The guys that handle the tapes and stuff.
Player personnel.
Yeah, something like that, or coordinator, some type of job. But I mean, that was the year Carolina made it to the ACC championship against Clemson, I think. And what was the coach name they had? Ran the spread. I forgot his name, but I mean, he was out. They had Mitchell. Yeah, they had Mitchell Biscuit at quarterback, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, he. I think somebody said something about him on the staff, and then Like 2 weeks later, he resigned from his position. But I mean, like I think he's a great football mind. Like he should be involved in the game. That's all I'm saying.
True. Said he was coaching at like a high school. Yeah.
I think he started at a high school. I think he started his coaching career at a high school, and then he went to Baylor and turned them around.
Yeah, that's wild, man. To return his gambling states off the. Yeah, man. Shit, it's tough, man. Like, kind of a black mark on them on Grambling for hiring them. You know what I'm saying? But and on Hugh Jackson or whatever was his name? Hugh Jackson.
Yeah, Hugh Jackson.
That's a black stain in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And then him being a goddamn white boy. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no other black, like especially in the times we're in right now. You know what I'm saying? Like with we got Deion Sanders and all these guys coaching at black school. Like you can't find a black OC, someone with more credentials that isn't accused of having teammate players accused of sexual acts, or you know what I'm saying. I don't know, man. That's my opinion, bro. Like I feel like there's nobody else capable with it. But then this dude, why does he get the nepotism or the end as opposed to any other black? It
was Hugh Jackson's choice. Hugh Jackson chose him. Said he said Hugh Jackson called him up and said, "What you doing? I would like to have you on my coaching staff." So I mean, hey,
they must have had some type of connection previously.
I think they did. He said when Hugh coached at the Browns, he drafted a couple Browns players, and he called them out there for like a weekend or a few days to talk some of the players up, some of the young guys. So I mean, I think they did have a coaching.
First of all, I never liked Hugh Jackson, man. He come off like
me either. He's arrogant. He's very arrogant.
Goddamn coon talking motherfucker. I don't like niggas.
Reminds me of a coach I had in college.
Word?
Yeah.
Yeah, nah, he a coon, bro. I don't fuck with niggas like that. He come off like you said, like down talking, and I don't like that shit. But
he's a very self-righteous person. Like he justifies all his actions, and he doesn't really take accountability for his like misfortunes, or it's always just someone else's fault, basically.
Decent offensive coordinator though, but my thing is he just like I said, he wasn't a good head coach. That was obvious, and really, like you said, like I don't really care about it being a cocky. He a head coach. You can have cockiness, but my thing is like just the way the energy he gives off isn't manly. You know what I'm saying? With TMP, it ain't manhood shit. So I really don't subscribe to that shit. So I'm glad personally, and it's not surprising that he would hire some motherfucking honky ass white boy over any suitable nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because he a coon. You know what I'm saying? Like I can see him going to bat for a white man. Like you see what I'm saying? So that's 100%, man. We don't really fuck with them kinds right here. Straight up. So I hope he get all the backlash, man. Shouldn't have hired that motherfucker. Well, yeah, my last topic, man, I was trying to go on was misinformation, the misinformation age and fake news. Basically, what we in right now, the age of Google. We go straight to that search engine and search some shit. We don't have a lot of, we don't know how to cite sources and to make sure that's a credible source. So yeah, that was my question, man. Just to talk a little bit about the misinformation age and fake news. It says misinformation is defined as incorrect or misleading info presented as facts, either intentionally or unintentionally. Read that again. It is defined as incorrect or misleading information presented as facts, either intentionally or unintentionally. So yeah, man, it's my opinion, it's a lot of, obviously we see it every day in America. They purposely mislead us everywhere. We're censored on Facebook, censored in real life. taking away your right to free thought, free speech in America. Everything's considered hate speech. Everything's trying to be censored and manipulated and twisted in a way to where you don't really get out the true version of yourself or the true version of what you're depicting, in certain platforms. So yeah, America. We can even look at whatever, like the situation with the pandemic, the mask wearing. You know what I'm saying? Just the whole mindset of the climate that we were in. There's a lot of misinformation going on, if you ask me. They themselves going on and telling them that backing certain vaccines, certain FDA approved vaccines. I mean, such as the Johnson and Johnson, and then that coming back to have given people having a high rate of blood clots. So like even that's just a prime example right there of misinformation. Like they led telling a lot of people lost their lives due to that vaccine, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. So that in itself, they backed it, then went back and said that we were incorrect. It's something they told us, but that's a prime example of misinformation. Just straight from the government. So if they'll tell you that on that level, and they lost a lot of people with that vaccine with all kind of issues, heart issues, just a whole bunch of things, just blood clots. What else are they misleading us? And I feel like that could have been intentional. They could have knew the effects on certain people, that it was going to cause blood clots and it was going to cause these heart issues with a certain demographic. So
Yeah, but let's get back to the main topic, the misinformation out here. I feel like misinformation comes from just the media portraying a narrative in just most cases, and everybody runs with that narrative. Different news channels run with that narrative. It may be certain channels that perpetrate the truth, but I mean, once a narrative starts, they'll run that narrative for 2, 3, maybe 5 days sometimes, depending on how many people pick up on it, the chatter. They have social media, so they see what people are talking about. So, misinformation it's a moneymaker, and it's a distraction basically. They don't want people to know what's really going on. So I mean, it's up to you to actually read books and understand about the Hegelian dialectic and all that. Like, so you need to understand what, the people who are in control, which is, the rich, the intellectuals, and the people who control entertainment, what they're trying to do. They're trying to feed you how they want you to live and how they want you to spend your money. Like, it goes all the way to advertisement. So I mean, people always use false advertisement, to sell a product. So I mean, it's up to you, the people, to understand what you're actually seeing and understand deciphering the truth and understanding what's the truth and what's a red herring, because red herrings are just to throw you off, the truth. So you got to do your research, like you said, check your sources and dig deeper.
yes, sir. I agree, man. This is the age of misinformation, man. They want to spread lies. They want to spread mistruth. They want to lead you in the direction in which they want to lead us into. They want to lead us into the lion's den, literally, of life. So and that's why we got to talk about this topic. It is the age of fake news and misinformation. So personally, I'm not a real stats type person. I'm real anecdotal. I go off my personal experience because I feel like my personal experience is very vast. I consider myself an empath. I feel like I can read people very, very well, body language and whatnot. So man, it's just misinformation age, man. It's just, you can tell, just a bunch of bull. You know what I'm saying? So it's a bunch of fakery being misled, and a lot of things is being perpetrated and pushed on us. So intentionally to direct us in a direction. So you got to see through it. You got to see that it fixes in on that situation, man. So that's why I'm at with it, man. I just try to be pure, try to stay out the way, man. Try to understand the situation, the setup that we are in, and try to just lead and help anyone who's willing to listen, willing to take heed. Personally, I'm not to be misinformed myself. Personally, I'm gonna always take the safe route in the society and the smart route. I advise you to do the same. I'm not a real stats person, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, so really I feel like there's a lot of misinformation in stats and in graphs and in all types of, media, newspapers and whatnot, news channels. So I don't really pay a lot of attention to stats and a lot of people's opinions anyway. Like even if it's like from a scientist or some type of quote credible source, me personally, I'm gonna go off with my instincts. Like I said before, like I'm a real empath person. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a real good feel for life. So I go off of my God, my spirit guide. You know what I'm saying? My inner God. I go off that shit. Like I don't. That's just my opinion. Like, cause misinformation is everywhere, you know what I'm saying? But you can't mislead the soul, you know what I'm saying? And that's just facts. That's how I feel. You cannot mislead the soul. It's something it's an internal navigator, an internal guide that we cannot turn off, you know what I'm saying? Unless we just, I feel like unless we have mental issues, we can't turn it off or are addicted to drugs. So misinformation, I feel like they're using that on purpose, you know what I'm saying? They know exactly what they're doing because a lot of us are off kilt, you know what I'm saying? Or we are on substances, we are on things, and we're raised in ways in which that made us, easily being misinformed. Our spirit is off. But personally, like, yeah, man, we're in the age of misinformation, we're in the age of fake news, we're in the age of niggas following shit, going along to get along, going along to motherfucking get along, doing whatever they're told. So, man, we got to start listening to our spirits and less to these white folks, less to these coons that fake scholars, less to these stats and, stereotypes and quotes and type of shit they put out there about us and our communities. Like, we got to get back on what our souls are telling us to do. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. Personally, I say fuck stats, fuck what the hell some media's got to tell me or say anything to me. I don't believe. Straight up, like I'm gonna make my own decisions every time. It's got we got to this point not by listening to what someone else tells us what is going on in this world. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't ever put that much faith in man personally. So it's a big deal. Fake news is a big deal right now, man. So yeah, man, just go off your inner you, man. Go off your inner God, straight up. Don't let these white folks feel you into no shit.
True indeed. It was a great episode, Cal. My battery's dying, so I'm about to check out, man. It was good chilling with you again, man.
Already, man. I'm about to sign out my damn self. Yeah, man, it's been a great episode. I appreciate you coming through, hanging with us, hollering at us, man.
No problem, man. We gotta do it again.
10-4, man. I'm gonna go ahead and close it out then. Man, TMP, we sponsored by XL Auto Transportation. Give me a call, man, 704-785-0654, man. Holler at us. Got more info, got more episodes coming, man. Just keep on hanging with us. Peace.